Now, we start recording, and here I am speaking once more again about this subject, this issue, information against evil, artificial intelligence against evil, AI against evil, and all this in context stand with Ukraine. Yes, we speak about information, but we use this. We are in this context with Ukraine, with Russian aggression against Ukraine, and our standing is we stand with Ukraine for Ukraine's victory. We we see only one outcome of this war. This is victory of Ukraine. Ukraine should be victor in this war. Uh, and we accept only this. We speak only about this, and we support only this issue, this point. Ukraine should win in this war. Ukraine should be should conquer Russia in this war, should be victorious. And now we speak about information against evil and artificial intelligence, too, touching in this aspect, but mainly is this about information about evil. And when we speak about this format, some of my friends use to think, to suppose that I am thinking that this saying information against evil, it would mean that I am against that Ukraine should receive weapons, should receive all necessary help to defend themselves with weapons, with military force, but only with information. No, we are not in such position about to speak about this subject, only thinking that Ukraine should defend themselves only with information. This something like they are holding in their hands newspapers and waving with newspapers against the Russian army. Something absurd. But what does it mean, information against evil? We actually, I am very aggressive in my platform about Ukraine. I'm supporting victory. I'm supporting that Ukraine should be equipped with much more weapons that they receive now, that their sky should be closed over Ukraine, that Europe military forces should be more and more engaged in this battle for the victory of Ukraine. I am very aggressive in this attention, so I am not this so simply thinking that only information should do. What does it mean? Information against evil as a weapon. Information is doing itself. This is process which goes out without my advocating to be so or not to be. It does not depend from me. It is a process that goes on independently. Information acts against evil in nature of what goes on this planet, in the nature of the soul. There is such a simple principle. Information works, acts in some way. That information acts in some way. Of course, people believe in it, but they would argue against me, say, why against evil? But I'm saying against evil, it is acting too, and I see this. Seeing, starting from the Bible. In the Bible, there is written that all hidden should come to be visible. All hidden should be come to the visible. Uh, in Greek, I have written here one phrase in Greek. All should come to visible. Uh, Pas, pas, krypton, genesetai, Phaneron, something like this, but it's not quite so. You may open Greek New Testament in Greek and read this. I don't remember precisely how this was said. Pas scriptum should genesetai in Paresi or Faneron, I don't remember. But nevertheless, this principle, all hidden should come to be visible. This is in Bible, and this is in the ground on this, what I call information, information as acting weapon, information as something against evil, as weapon against evil, as struggling something against evil. This I have in mind when I am speaking about this subject and likewise. So here I want to once more about this speak, and I have prepared some such introduction to this subject, and I take as a ground one this thought, what is said by we know well-known scientist, well-known person in history. This is Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was saying, these are words of Nikola Tesla, education should not be the mechanical learning of subject, but training of the mind to think. Very simple words that was said by Tesla, but they confront with this what we see in around about us. People are not so trained necessarily so to be something like what had in mind Nikola Tesla. People, no, yeah, and politicians and these which are leaders of countries, and they are quite contrary to some what should be named very clever men. They are very, 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 very not very highly to be high to be appreciated. No, they are quite contrary. They are very, very, very low intellectual power, these men. And so we see this that people, politicians, don't know how to argue about these questions, how to argue against Russian, how to argue against Russian propaganda, and so we need, something from this all what I'm about to speak. And when I speak about information, I am raising two aspects of information. Information, this is simply streaming news, and all possible what we hear news, read in newspapers. That one aspect of information is this news. simply mechanical stream of news. But the other aspect is how we analyze information, and this analyzed information, it what we write in papers, what we write in conversations, and using this information, arguing about these questions, speaking about these questions, analysis, all this is information too. This information's analysis is information too. So simply speaking, might be said, information analysis is information too. So we have two informations: mechanical informations, what we receive through media, and this analysis of information, what we produce ourselves. Um, and so this is first derivative in mathematical sense first, but we may take second derivative, analyze, and so on. But of course, we understand about what I have in mind, speaking in this aspect about information. And now these aspects are very important to speak about them, how information is acting, and and more. Not only information acts as information as we are used to think about information, but that information is takes some ethical aspect. Information starts to act against evil, and this we see quite clearly in this war, which Russia aggressively are doing against Ukraine. This war against Ukraine, and if we see this, then we may start to see what should be taken out, and what should be marked, and how this should be expressed, analyzed, and confronted, and put against what we have when we come in touch with these questions. And so here I take out some aspects of this. Of course, we know how Russia propaganda works, and there are many papers and there are many information about how Western thinkers and politicians and all Western society tries to struggle against Russia propaganda, but not always this struggle is so well understood and well recognized what should be done. Actually, Western thinkers don't understand how Russia propaganda works in their essence. And one of main point which I am going to stress here is that Russia is in a point where she is almost next to its crashing point. And in this crashing point, it is getting very aggressive and invents new and new methods how to try to escape its crashing. It's yeah to yeah, and its ruin, complete its ruin and complete catastrophic. Yeah, Russia should disappear from the as such such outcome is possible because Russia itself is conducting this war, conducting its politics in that direction that their country should be ruined, should disappear, and. Yeah, and Western's stupid politics against Russia is helping for the Russia to keep to live to alive to keep being alive and proceed with their existence. But Western should be more clever, and they don't need to allow Russia so easily to no to keep to their being alive. How to I don't feel yeah, but well, but uh, and I want to point out some simple issues. For example, when we are Western politicians don't need to speak with Russia, answering to their provocations. Russia politicians used to speak with and raise questions, and politicians of Western try to speak with them, answering to the questions. This is very stupid politics to try to answer to their. For example. No, yeah, it is not. I only is told about this, so no, yeah, maybe it is how to resist. This one is especially dangerous and often poorly recognized in the West. People may laugh at what seems to be Russian stupidity, while behind those foolish remarks lies refined messaging for Russia's domestic audience. Western representatives should carefully study such discourse to distinguish what is meant for internal consumption and what is sent outward to deceive Western societies. How to resist such covert propaganda? One must not respond to Russia's seemingly casual remarks behind which lie well-crafted propaganda tricks. It is astonishing how a blood-stained regime like Russia's can so innocently engage in discussions about Western values, and how Western representatives entering such discourse and arguing fall into a spider's web that Russia media eagerly used to feed processed version processed versions of these discussions back to their hypnotized domestic audience. Well, such an example I am expressing, but for example, we know that Russia is crying and saying, "Oh, you are trying to attack Russia. You want to destroy Russia." And then Western politicians are crying, "No, no, we don't want to attack Russia. We don't want to crush Russia. We are not aggressors." This is very stupid way. If we try to answer for Russia these sentences, we don't need to answer for them to. It is another question discussion what we want about crush or not crush or Russia, attack Russia or not. It is our, we don't need to enter in the discussion with Russian politicians about what we are going to do. We don't need to answer such questions, because when they get answers to these questions, these then they say, oh, well, they are saying that they are not going to attack us, and propaganda is interpreting it as, you see, they are weak, they are stupid, they are, and so on. Of course, politicians are weak and stupid when they are, they allow to be engaged in such conversations about whether we are going to attack Russia or not. It is no, we don't need to answer to them what we are going to or not going to do. We are. I, sir, don't know to speak with Russia at all, only warring with them, supplying Ukraine with weapons. Or if in case we are speaking, then we need to speak quite another type of things, such that they can't use for their inner propaganda. And this is it is not easy to do this. We must think, we must very carefully think about what to speak to them. And this is very serious questions, and not simply laugh as the Russians how they are stupid. Maybe they are stupid, but they are very they are terrorists and bandits. We must remember that they are terrorists and bandits, and either we don't speak with them at all, or if we speak, then we are to try to speak to cheat them. They are cheating us, and we must try to cheat them. And be more clever, but of course the main is to give more weapons to Ukraine, to get more engaged, to do not allow for this nuclear weapon threats to be engaged with discussions about with Russia. This question should be treated very, very carefully, and not to allow them to use all against Western. So, yeah. So Tesla's sentence is very necessary for Western politicians. They should have on their table this picture with Tesla, with this saying, education should not be the mechanical learning of subject, but training of the mind to think. This should be before their eyes be kept, and I don't know, either they train themselves to think. Of course, this can't be done in some very short time. I have all my life trained my thinking, and so many people who know what does it mean, how much efforts should be put in this to try to do this, train one's mind to be able to think. This is very hard work, and if the politicians don't know how themselves to do this, then they take consulting men, scientists, and persons who are able to think, and they must somewhat have practice how to choose people who don't know how to think, how to analyze. but I think that they don't have any ways to how to solve this. This is, yeah, I even don't know how to characterize this situation, what they should do to engage people who really really know how to use this sentence of Nikola Tesla. No, so yeah, I think that it's for one short. I wanted to show this here.
Okay, thank you. I can use mine.
Yeah, we
Have a pen? Can you use mine? Okay.
how information works. We see that historic moment where peace is in Middle East is peace signed between four countries: Egypt, Qatar, Turkey, and USA about this issue forming Hamas. Yeah, and here some moments. Here, let me find out. This should be the same. And what this is. Uh, and here Trump is signing this document. Trump is signing this document speaking about 3,000 years of history, and now they have come to peace, of course. This is Trump's style of interpreting as he understands. Yeah, but here, yeah,
This
Trump
took
once more.
3,000 years to
Yeah,
get to this
3,000.
point.
So
Can you
yeah,
believe it?
yeah.
And it's going to hold up, too. It's going to hold up.
Yeah, Trump is speaking, and Trump is here, Starmer behind Trump, and Trump is saying, "Where are you, Starmer? Great Britain, where are you, Trump?" No, yeah, yesterday it was. And now Melanie, yeah, Italy's prime minister, and uh, and here Russia, Moscow, and Russia is empty, but only one small corner of Russia is Moscow, and it is easy for Ukrainians to send rockets against this piece of pizza. Yeah, this is very ridiculous, and so 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 we need different news. Well, okay. Well, now I must end, and thank you for trying to say. I should not. Yeah.